Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast episode 1. Today on the first episode we are lucky because we're joined with a Harsh squared conversation. We got Harsh Kumar with me and Harsh Chetan, our guest over here with us. And as you can tell from our bio, I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I have been supporting the club for almost all my life since probably I've known football, and I'm really excited to get to talk about the club I love, and hopefully win the debate with Harsh Kumar, who is a massive United fan. Go ahead, Harsh.
Hey everyone, this is Harsh here. As Vihan mentioned, I'm a massive United fan. I started supporting the club when they were winning trophies, which was quite a while back now. But yes, I've stuck around, and it'll be great fun to talk with these guys and debate with these guys, and hopefully you guys also have a good experience from this.
Anyways, and getting on to the second Harsh of the conversation, we've got Harsh Sridham with us. And for those of you who don't know him, he's currently supporting his fifth favorite club, which is Manchester City. And if anyone wants any explanation as to how money can buy fans, this is exactly the situation. Go for it, Harsh.
That's right. Thanks. But I would just to touch up on what Bihan said. I have a jersey from 2012, so you deserve that. Yeah. So it's been around 8 good years of supporting City. It's fun. Oil money is good. Trust me. So if I would like to say, I've been supporting City for like 8 years, as I've said before, and it's a pleasure to have this conversation with Bihan and Harsh Kumar, who are college best friends. And this is going to be a huge experience for all of y'all who are listening and for the three of us right now. So, Bihan, take us ahead.
Superb. So let's get on with the topics of the day. Let's start with our first segment, which is FPW, Football This Week. And shall we
Nice.
just say that, like, can we please comment on the fact that Liverpool won the Premier League and how
Wow.
how easily we won it? I think some of the players are still drunk in Anfield, but let's just say that it's well deserved.
Well,
I mean, I don't think they have ever won a trophy like this, so I think it's okay for them to be so excited and be drunk.
that's
I don't
true.
know when
That's
will they
true.
get the I don't know when will they get the next opportunity, but they should savor this moment.
Yeah, well, drinking beer from a cup in 30 years sounds good. Sounds like a start. Let's see where it takes them ahead.
Interesting. I
Well, they
mean,
had the last 3 seasons solid, 100%, but not up to the mark. But this year, I mean, I would actually blame the pandemic, but yeah, if you think y'all earned it, y'all earned it. Can't
They
blame
all
you.
just
okay.
won the Corona
Let, let,
Trophy.
let me just put it out there that we won 6 Champions League trophies and we won now our 19th Premier League trophy. So it's
Well
very
said.
hard to
Well
say.
said.
It's very hard to say that we're off our game. But I mean, I would definitely agree that before Klopp, we were complete sideways and we were without a single plan. So I'm glad to see us back on track, and I'm happy to say that maybe I can predict that this is the first of many trophies.
Yeah. So talking
I
about
mean,
before Klopp, I had this one question I really want to ask you. What were your thoughts when what went through your mind when you saw your front three, which is Ricky Lambert, Balotelli, and Harsh Kumar? You will let us say the third person.
Borini,
Oh,
Borini. Where's he playing
players.
right
They were
now?
good. They were good players.
Oh,
Oh
he's
wait,
playing for
delegated
reserves,
team.
Roma reserves.
Oh,
Okay, let me
so
just start off by
give
saying
us.
that supporting a club is not only supporting it through the good times. I mean, I'm sure Harsh, Chetan, you know all about it because you
Wait,
supported
whoa,
five
whoa,
different
no, that
clubs.
was uncalled for. My question was,
let's
how
just
did you
say
feel?
let's just say that being loyal comes with a price, and
That
this was a price that we paid at all of Liverpool. I had to suffer through those years, but let's just say it was a good turning point because if you realize that was the time when we actually got Luis Suarez and we actually got Sturridge and Sterling more involved. I mean, throughout the season, but like to start off, yeah, that was a very hard time for me to be loyal, but you stick to what you know, and I guarantee you'll pay off. And that's exactly what's happened right now.
very well said. Very well said. Experience what you went through.
Yeah, I would like to point out that I was at the stands for the Liverpool Barcelona game in the semi-finals. I was in the cop watching the game
You
live.
want to met? Wow, wow. That's an experience. We should put some. You should really
Respect on
share with with our
respect,
audience of how was that experience.
Remember,
definitely.
I think Harsh also went for a match, right? The most boring El Clasico in 30 years.
Wow, wait. That was unfortunate. Okay, it was a great experience. I saw Messi from like around
Imagine,
20 feet or
imagine
30
getting
feet.
the opportunity to see Real Madrid play Barcelona at Camp Nou, and he goes for literally the most boring El Clasico in
Okay,
history.
For
okay,
those
wait.
of y'all
That
who
was
don't know, it was a nil-all draw. He actually flew all the way to Spain to watch this game, and it turned out to be an absolute dead game. So tell us more about the experience.
it was it was a dead game. It was hurtful to hear that at 30 years was the first draw with no goals. Mad experience where I saw Messi from like around what 40 feet. I could see a status on his leg. That was insane. But all I to say, I saw Gareth Bale play football and not golf.
That's
How
a
many people can say that they've seen Gareth Bale play football in the last
Quite,
2 years or 1 year?
quite an experience, I must say. Quite an experience.
And he did
very
score
Anyway,
an offside goal, which was fun to
yeah.
see.
I agree. I agree. Anyway, getting on to the next bit of the conversation. What happened this week was Varane. Varane
Ooh, I love
actually
that man. Love him.
he allowed Manchester City to sorry, what am I saying? Yeah, Man City to just walk into their goal. I mean,
Wait,
how many times is he going to do this? I think he's done this quite a few times with Barcelona in the La Liga as well. But what do you think about his kind of mistake?
I think Real Madrid were trying to beat Pep Guardiola in his own game, and that does not work out a lot. And well, I think they came with an attitude that they can beat them, but sometimes you have to know that you are not as strong as the opposition. Like take Arsenal United, who have beaten City this season. What they did was they sat behind and they played on counter attack and they took advantage of Fernandinho, who was in defense. Real Madrid could have done that. They could have made sure Rodrigo and Hazard get to run behind Fernandinho. They didn't do that. And yeah, they paid the price. I mean, Varane is a world class defender. Even if Sergio Ramos is not playing, they need him to step up because he's now an experienced defender. He's no more a prospect, right? He's becoming older now. He needs to take up the mantle when Ramos eventually leaves. So I put all this down to Zidane. I think he was just too cocky.
Interesting, interesting
that's
take on
very
that.
well said. But I would like to say, like how you said, he's the next prospect in Real Madrid's defense, and he needs to step up as a captain. How Ramos was.
So
Ramos is the one who controls the back line. In every match you see Ramos playing, he's the one who's the most vocal and controls the full back line. But in the City game, I didn't see Varane either communicate with Militao or communicate with Adele fallbacks. It
Hmm.
was a shamble. Like seeing their
Wow.
defense. I mean, personally, I was enjoying the game. I was like, wow, 2-0 up. Yeah, thanks, Varane. But being a Real Madrid supporter must be really hard to watch that. Especially,
Interesting, interesting. What did you think about the fact that now Ronaldo is out of the competition? Does that mean that Man City have a good chance of winning it? Because now that Ronaldo's like technically the UCL is considered Ronaldo's tournament. Now,
that's
if
I,
he's
that's
out, does
his
does
squad.
City have a better chance? What is your thoughts?
I still think that Bayern are going to take it. I don't think Man City has Bayern's quality,
So
but
you
they have
have
a better
Bayern
chance
as
because
favorite.
yeah, because
Yeah,
City are playing. Who are they playing next? They're playing Leon
Colombia.
next.
Leon, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
So they'll probably reach the semifinals. But if they get a team like Bayern, which I'm assuming it will be now Bayern, Atletico, or
PS.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Barcelona, yeah, so, one of the four teams, and I think they won't be able to pass that hurdle. So I still give it to Bayern Munich to win this.
So you got
I would
your
be
favorites on Bayern.
Yeah, Bayern
I
Munich
would
are
be
my favorite.
optimistic because City are no underdog anymore. They are up with the top teams. Okay, we
They
have a
spend so
really
much
good.
money, they can't be
Wait,
underdogs.
wait.
Oh my God!
400 million on
Spending.
defense should
Yeah,
earn you a
exactly.
CL trophy. Okay,
Exactly. 1 billion in transfers and you still can't win a fucking trophy. Now,
Wait,
I
I
mean, in
wouldn't say
terms of
win a
the
trophy.
in terms of the UCL,
Win a
which is what matters the
European.
most, in your opinion.
Yeah, that's right. A European trophy. Yeah, but I wouldn't say through their domestic titles are pretty good, pretty strong in the last titles.
Ash, you don't have to be so
Interesting.
worried about it. We spent 80 million and we've just got into top four. So you guys don't have to worry so much about spending 500 million on defense.
See,
Yeah,
unlike other clubs in the Premier League, at least the big clubs in the Premier League, Liverpool. I mean, in the last 1.5 years, we have a net spend of 26 million. Now, if you're looking at that stat alone, you have to understand that Liverpool's a fan club, and even though we do not have the money clearly, and we don't have the capacity to compete in the transfer market with like the likes of heavyweights of United and Man City. But I mean, that's the whole thing between supporting a club like Man City and supporting a club like Liverpool, because we bring the heat, we bring the mentality, we bring the fans, we bring that entire passion onto the field that just cannot be replicated with money. Now, I'm
Yeah,
not
so
saying
that's good.
don't spend.
As
I'm not
we are,
saying don't spend. Klopp,
I'm
if you're
not
listening to
taking
this, please
no no
go
no
out and
no
get
no 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 no.
Thiago.
No. I'm not taking anything away from what you just said,
no,
but
no,
I would
Harsh,
just
yeah, we are talking about Champions League and Liverpool are not involved. So let's stick to Champions League right
oh,
now. What is the next fixture?
oh Chopra, did you get the heat in this podcast right now? I'm feeling
Oh,
really hot, so I will
don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
wow wow.
It's coming. All of
Anyway,
next
so
season.
tonight's fixtures, Chelsea played Bayern
Ooh.
and Barcelona played Napoli. What do you guys think about those two fixtures? Let's start with Chelsea and Bayern.
So what was the first leg score again? What?
Chelsea were leading 3-0, I think. And
Bayern was leading
sorry,
Chelsea.
Bayern was leading 3-0. And Bayern have beaten Chelsea 3-1, 4-1. So
Oh,
3-1.
7-1 aggregate.
whoa,
Interesting.
whoa,
See,
wow,
the
that's
reason
strong.
behind that, my thought is that the reason behind this is simply because Chelsea has an extremely inexperienced team. Now you're
Yeah,
talking
that's right.
about Bayern having a team like
Full of stars.
inclusive of you got a Lewandowski, you got a Neuer, you got your Gnabry,
Listen, nah,
you got all these extremely talented, extremely experienced players that they haven't played in the Champions League for a long time. Now Chelsea, on the other hand, I'm not sitting here telling you that they're a bad team, but they just don't have the experience. Right now, in a competition like Champions League, it's so vital, and that clearly shown on pitch.
that they don't have a future. They don't have a star like PSG,
Yeah,
Neymar, Real Madrid, Ramos. If you see City, De Bruyne, Liverpool, Salah, star. Star is what Chelsea is missing. Chopra, what do you think? Who is their star right now in Chelsea?
Well, I like Via's reasoning. It was pretty long. I would just say a simple reason for Chelsea not doing well is Kepa and Zuma. That's it. I
that's
think that
interesting.
the defense is abysmal, and I'm very surprised that they spent so much money on such players, but they are not looking to upgrade their defense. Uh, Even Chilwell, when he was being talked about, I don't think so. Chilwell's happening, but I still felt that he was a big upgrade compared to Alonso. But it's very surprising that they're going for Havertz and they're not going for a proper leader in a central defender. I think that is what they need. They have enough attack. I think they have great players, great young players going ahead, but they don't have a defender. And there's no point in buying so many players and conceding a lot of goals. Like what? They'll go to Anfield, they score 3 goals, and they lose 6-3. That's it. So I think Chelsea needs to really upgrade their defense in that sense.
So, Harsh,
Yeah.
you said that they don't spend a lot for the defense, but they have the world's most expensive goalkeeper. So, are you
They
saying
do,
that their
but that was,
choices are wrong or
but the
players are
but
not
the
performing?
price. Yeah, I get that. But the money they spent on Kepa was out of desperation because Courtois left at the end. He left, I think, a day before the transfer window ended. So they needed to buy a
Yeah.
keeper. I think that was out of desperation that they paid 80 million because I think that was a release clause. If Courtois had left like a month back, when the transfer window was ending, I think they would have been more sensible and spend money somewhere else. So I don't blame them for spending 80 million on Kepa, but I think they can make some changes for the defense.
Interesting. Um, Now, what was the second game you were talking about? Barcelona Napoli.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think I
good
think
picture.
honestly, I think y'all have gone for your own city and your Bayern, but even though I hate to say it, I think Barcelona is the favorites over here. With
Wow.
Messi in the team, you just can't rule them out, and we saw that very clearly. We saw that very clearly.
Yeah, but
I mean,
if you would put a current Bayern team or current City team against a current Barcelona team, what do you think? Who will win?
It would be a tight, but I think Messi would be the difference.
That's it. Yep. Very
but we can't forget
unpredictable.
the fact that for the past 3 seasons, it has been Messi, and he's not been able to make that difference, even though they've gone to quarters and semis. So to
See
say
the
that they
difference.
have to, their over reliance on Messi will not work out so many
The
times.
difference is that see they were playing Liverpool at Anfield. That's just not happening. Let's be honest. Liverpool at Anfield are undefeated, and it
Beyond they
complete.
lost to Roma 3-0.
Oh yeah, before
Fair
that.
enough. Fair enough. I was just
Yeah.
justifying last season to brag a bit, but
Okay, he's
yeah,
just talking about Liverpool because they have been they've been knocked out, and he just wants to put Liverpool in
we,
his conversation for Champions League.
we
it's
get it.
important. It's also it's also our competition by the current holders. I think it's fair enough to have a conversation about Liverpool. So put some respect on that. Respect, respect.
Yeah,
Anyways, getting on to the next piece of news, the next segment, which is the transfer saga. Tell me about Sanchez, man.
Impressed.
Sanchez, he's finally off the wage bill for United. What do you think?
Oh yeah, weight is left his shoulders, right?
I remember unveiling when he signed for United, where he played a piano, and everyone was so mesmerized. Wow, what a transfer unveiling! And everyone was excited because Mkhitaryan didn't play really well, and then Sanchez came in, and everyone was like, "Okay, Sanchez is going to make the difference," and he played worse than Mkhitaryan. And
Wow.
he's robbed us of so much money since that time that we just wanted to get rid of him now. And I think Sanchez is now playing well at Inter Milan. He's happy there, so it's good for him. It's good for the club because that frees up a lot of wage for other players, hopefully Sancho. But yeah, not a great experience.
You know
We
what I
move on.
heard? What I
Mm.
heard was a very interesting stat that I think it's important to mention. Is that for every minute that Sanchez played, it costed United £20,000 for every minute, and he was on a wage of almost I think over £500,000 per week, and he
Whoa.
was playing the bloody
What
piano.
you
I
say?
mean, I think
Jesus
that
Christ!
was just a matter of his agent playing United. They
That's
got the terms. They got the terms for the deal. United made a big mistake. I think they took a gamble. They probably thought that Sanchez would be a big difference maker because they wanted to improve, and it didn't work out for them. Well, United will learn from this. They have been making smart transfer decisions after Maguire. They've been
I was
they've
just
not
about to
been
point that out. I
yeah,
was just
well
yeah,
about
yeah.
to point that out.
I'm gonna put Maguire there because it's very obvious for everyone. But they have been trying to play the dominant party in transfer negotiations. That's why you've not seen Sanchez sign yet. Because Dortmund are offering Dortmund won 120 million from them, and United has said it out loud that during these current COVID conditions, his valuation doesn't match the expectations. Hopefully, it does come down, and they will sign him, which I think they will. But regarding Sanchez, man, I'm just glad that it's over, and I'm glad that players that are not playing well or have been there in the club for too long are now leaving the club because we need fresh talent and we need some vibrancy in our team.
Yeah, I completely agree with your thinking
yeah,
in
Mm.
that.
that's done.
Um, Interestingly, while most of the clubs in the world are suffering from the COVID blast, I think City have clearly not budged. I think they're still completely dominating this market. They've already signed Ake and they've already signed Ferran Torres. Harsh, what do you think about that?
I'm happy that COVID is not affecting City, but it's a really big problem that's out there. People are really uh, facing hell. I would like to put it in that. Yeah, but City has a really strong backing. So does United, if you say, because if they added a stat, United are one of the top clubs that earn revenue from their stadium and from sponsorship. So they're one of the richest clubs out there. So they have money to spend, and they are really going to be active in this transfer market. But I also read another stat that City are interested in another 10 or at least five more players to fill their squad. So I don't know how
Five
true.
more.
Yeah, so I don't know how true that is, but I hope not that they don't spend more because our squad is filled with talent. And let's see
And what do
how
you
if
think
it.
of
So
Ferran Torres?
you're trying to tell me that even though y'all have already signed two players and already spent 70 million on in this market, y'all are still looking to budge, are still looking to improve and still looking
Yeah,
to, yeah.
so that's right. Because but if you see, we are also alternating to a cheaper option, selling Sane and buying someone like Fernando Torres, not Fernando Torres. Um,
Ferran Torres.
Parent Torres. Both are good players. So I want to see how and down not I wouldn't say a downgrade, but a downgrade to money wise from 50 million player to a 20 million player. Smart move. Even for RK, 40 million, smart move because he's what, a 25-year-old, and that's another 5 year contract. So I see for the next 5 years our defense being solid, but I wouldn't I
Interesting.
Harsh,
wouldn't say the I
I
wouldn't
have
say
a
the
question
same.
for you.
Yep.
If City do sign, like, let's say, four or five players this transfer window, and if they do not manage to win either the Premier League or the Champions League next season, do you think Guardiola deserves to stay?
No. Of course,
Wow.
No.
if someone who's backed up with everything he's asked for
Hmm.
and everything is given to him and he still can't perform, I'm sorry, you need someone new. You see that
Wow.
happened right now with Juventus. Juventus being such a big club, having the topmost players, but not winning the Champions League, which is their top priority. So
Also,
Wow.
therefore,
Nathan Ake for 40 million. I mean, I'm not sure if he's so valued or so
okay,
valuable.
so
He's
I would
not
ask you a
valuable.
simple question, okay? Harsh?
Hmm.
If I talk about Bournemouth, what's the first player that comes to your mind?
King.
I slap you. This because
Wilson.
because you're a United
Wilson.
fan and King is a
Hold on, hold
United.
on. I'll be very honest with you. I've never thought about Nathan Ake when someone talks to me about Bournemouth.
Okay,
It's
you
either
see,
Wilson
you are
or King.
one of those few annoying million people who care about King
Oh my god.
because
I
King.
would
Hold
definitely,
on. We had. If you want to make a team on FPL, are you gonna look for Nathan Ake first or Wilson?
I mean, definitely not Nathan Ake. I don't even think Wilson, but yeah, between the two of them, Wilson.
My
Yeah, see,
point is,
FPL is a different ball game because you look
no,
at
no, my
options that
my
earn you
point
points. But in
my
a
I'm
point
game,
saying,
is that it's not so popular for a player who's been bought for 40 million and the club is relegated. When clubs are
but
relegated,
I don't.
only players for cheap.
Yeah, but
okay,
what I don't enjoy is that Nathan Ake. I know he played well from the back. I know he's absolutely solid, but I don't think his physicality is there yet. That's why. I mean, that's why you saw Bournemouth. They leaked gold non-stop last season.
that's
Like,
right because he had
and he
Cook
was at
next
the
to
heart
him.
of the defense at almost every game, if not every game. So I would definitely say that, you know, I think City have overspent by a margin, but I don't think it's going to dent their budget at all. So for them to
Exactly.
spend
Also,
41 million on
See,
Nathan Ake,
41 million over a period of 5 years.
I don't know.
look,
I still
wait,
don't think
hold
it's
It's
on.
worth it.
better
That's not
than
the
spending
point.
80 million over a 5 years on Harry Maguire.
What if he goes on for 10 years?
But then that's extra, no? For the contract will renew, more money is
Uh,
spent out there.
no one signs
Okay,
10-year
guys,
contract. They sign
guys, I
5-year
got some
contract and then
interesting
a 5-year
news.
contract.
I got interesting news. Liverpool are linked to a player.
Money
Can you
from
believe it?
Liverpool.
We have money after
Wait,
winning the
are
What?
you
Champions League and
buying the
money.
player or taking him on for loan?
Hang on. We are linked to him. We don't even know yet, but we're
Okay,
linked to him.
Whoa,
fair
whoa,
enough.
whoa.
So, I mean, this guy is pretty brand new. He's Jamal Luke Lewis. I don't think you know him, but I think he's
Jamal
a young
Lewis. Nice.
starlet. Yeah, he's a
Left
young
back from
starlet
Norwich, right?
from Norwich.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're looking at him as a backup right back from
Robo,
for
right?
Andy Robertson.
Yeah.
Left back. Sorry. Yeah,
Mm.
for Andy Robertson. But the issue is that I mean he hadn't played many minutes. He's pretty young, not really proven in the Premier League as such. And Liverpool put in a bid of 10 mil.
Which
That
was
got
rejected.
rejected.
Yeah, I heard that.
That got rejected. Now the issue with this is that yes, we need a left back, backup for Robertson,
Okay,
and yes, he is pretty good. But 10 mil on him, it's just not worth it. Especially when we're being considered that Thiago is being linked for 35 million. You know, it's very hard to sit and value this kid at 10 million. That's
that's
all I'm
right.
saying.
But I would say that the link to Thiago, do you think is necessary? Because Liverpool are stacked up with their midfield. Like I can name at least six players that can fill your three-player role. So do you think buying Thiago is a good option? Yes or no?
See, the thing is that if we do get Thiago, it would be a great buy. Because I think he's very versatile, he's very creative. You can get between the lines and attack and really provide the ball for Mane and Salah. So I think he can really put in a different kind of angle to our game. So it should be interesting to see how he goes about it. But coming to your question about is it worth it? We just lost Adam Lallana to Brighton. I think we find his contract was finally up. So he was on a wage bill of about 120K a week.
Wow,
Now, if you refurbish that and you add a bit to Thiago, yeah, I think we can definitely afford it. But the issue with this is that you know Bayern are expecting at least 30 million,
that's right.
and
He's a
Liverpool don't have the
quality
money for
player.
that.
He's a
We
quality
turned out Timo Werner. We turned out Timo Werner last summer,
player. That
and
Mm.
that brings me
yeah,
to
last window.
yeah, that brings
Exactly. So it's very hard to justify a price tag for a player who's on his last 6 months of his contract for free next year, next window. So I mean, in the sense that is it worth it? I would think not.
okay.
And if it would be implemented well into the squad, yeah, Klopp will definitely bring the best out of him.
Yeah, of
He
course,
would
he's a
definitely
world class
provide a
player.
different angle.
Yeah, of course, he's a world
Yeah,
class player.
yeah.
But
Superb.
also,
Okay, so
one
now
second.
let's get back to our last segment of this beautiful first episode podcast, and that is the FPL. Sorry, the EPL predictions next year. Who do you think are your top four, and who do you think is the surprise team? Who do you think getting relegated? Give me your thoughts. Go, Chetan.
Uh, Chetan, yeah.
Top four. Let me start with top four. Strong contenders: City, Liverpool. Two for sure people top four. But
Who's winning? Who's
who's
winning?
winning? City. I would put my bets on City because
City.
if you see them after the lockdown, unstoppable, unfreaking stoppable. If you compare Liverpool after lockdown, if you compare City after lockdown, drastic. Poles apart.
But we had already won the league back then. We had already won the league. That's what we had.
Exactly.
We were.
So if you have,
Robbo was still drinking on the pitch. We were
I'm not
playing
sure about
Brighton, and he was having a sip. He was having a pint on the sideline.
is
Wait,
that true.
you're telling me Liverpool were not going for the 100-point record?
So I was getting back to the podcast segment. So
That's true. Good. Well said. Well said.
Got you there.
So
yeah.
I'll put
So
my
who did
money
you?
on City
Yeah.
to win
Okay.
and relegation. Crystal Palace because they have been on the verge since couple of years, not performing up to the top 10. But Crystal Palace because I would have said Aston Villa, but Aston Villa are showing real high prospects. But if Grealish leaves for United, then everything changes. Because Grealish is a man that I'll depend on for Aston Villa to survive relegation even next year. But Crystal Palace, if you see their this time performance, very well. I think so. They came 80. No, 18. I'm sorry. 16th or 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
I
So
think
so
just above relegation.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So they really scraped through, and now the teams that have been promoted, like Leeds, Fulham, and what's the third one? I'm sorry, you can get it.
West Brom.
West Brom.
West Brom.
I see all three of them fighting to keep their place in Barclays for sure this time. Because all three are good. Maybe West Brom, I'm not sure about, but Fulham and Leeds for sure qualify.
Wow, not even a Mitrovic and banging in the goals.
Up. Uh,
Anyways, go
so
ahead. Tell
yeah,
me.
so my rankings, I would put Liverpool winning the title. City second. Hopefully United, but I don't think it'll be United. I think it'll be Chelsea third, and I'll put United fourth. Main reasons for being Liverpool. Liverpool are on top of the game. I don't see them slipping next season. City, even though they have bought players and they might buy more players, I just don't think they have that in them to win the league. It's not anything to do technical. I just think Klopp's Liverpool have such a cohesive unit that they will take the title again. For relegation, I'm going to say Fulham, West Brom, and Aston Villa. These three to be relegated. Leeds United, I think they'll do very well. They will finish top 10. I don't expect them to finish anything lower than that. But Aston Villa, I just feel they survived by the skins, and I don't expect them to do much better. Fulham and West Brom, again, not much expectations from them. They could surprise us the way Sheffield did. But from at this point of time, from what we are talking about, I think those two are gonna get relegated with Aston Villa.
Okay, so Fulham has Mitrovic as the top scorer in the EPL second
Yeah,
league. So you think that
still
won't be a factor?
Mitrovic has played in the Premier League and he's not performed. If you guys remember, he was playing with Newcastle and he had 2 goals the whole season. So I think he's a good striker, but he's not a striker which can perform in the Premier League. That's what I think.
Interesting. Um, yeah. So, like touching on your point, but the only issue is that um, um, I think the whole thing is that Mitrovic played with Fulham last season before they got relegated. So the whole thing is that he did play. He did score about 5 to 7 goals in the first half of the season, and then completely died out. So they can rely on him, but not consistently. Clearly, getting on to my top four, I think most people would agree with this. Is that probably if Liverpool buy anyone to keep the competition high, to keep the level of intensity high, yeah, we will take the second title. But it's hard defending. But I do think Liverpool are well ahead of the crowd right now. And yeah, then second will be City, obviously, and then probably give or take interchange in between um, Manchester United and Chelsea. I think Arsenal and Spurs will just about miss out, and so will Wolves. Yeah, Wolves. And I think for the relegation, it's going to be a very tight one, to be honest. In my opinion, I think 100% Fulham, 100% Aston Villa. Um, I'm kind of debating between probably West Ham. West Ham is in my in my
Hmm.
list,
Wow,
but
that's an expensive
yeah, so I'm debating along with that, but I don't see Leeds going down. I think they've got a massive fan base. Bielsa is doing some amazing stuff. Um, I do see them finishing in the top 10, so I would agree with you on that, Harsh. Kumar. Sorry, still getting confused with the Harsh squares, man. Still getting confused. Imagine, guys, imagine this.
10
I am
years
dealing
really
with
gets
two Harshes on a daily basis.
still gets confused. My God.
Yeah.
Superb, superb. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I think we thoroughly enjoyed that debate. I think this was a great test run, and I think we can definitely take a lot of positives away from this. Please let us know what you think about it in the comments. Please let us know what you want us to talk about in the future, and yeah, let us know how you all can actually communicate with us. Superb. Um, so I will leave the link in the description for our Twitter handle and our Instagram handle. Like, share, subscribe, and all that usual shit for more content. Thanks, guys. It was fun. Looking forward to next week.